Dan, guess what?
What?
We're gonna review a fucking movie.
What fucking movie?
Day of the Dead. The
You
one that's scary with zombies and
mean one that's
your
your George Romero flick?
That's right. George Romero, the Zombie King.
Yes, George Romero. Now, hey everyone,
What's up?
I'm Dan,
I'm Chris.
and you're watching
The
Movie
Movie
Dudes. The show where we talk about any kind of movie that's on our mind.
We review fucking movies.
B movies, A movies, any movies.
We do it right here.
Alright, so as are interested, we are reviewing the 1985 Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead by George Romero, the Zombie King himself, and this is one of my favorites in the his zombie kind of trilogy.
This is before zombies went like so mainstream that there's just silly now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's back in the really the right now in this day and age is really the most hype and excitement for zombies.
But zombies kind of become a little bit oversaturated. I mean, not nothing against shows like The Walking Dead, but
A lot of people have mixed feelings about The Walking Dead. Some call it a soap opera with an occasional zombie, as George Romero did. And others just love it.
my cousin really loves it. Well,
I do too.
But he also read the comics. But I digress. So, Day of the Dead would start. Not a lot of big people, but a lot of people may be very important in the industry.
Yeah, Day of the Dead, as if you guys have not seen it yet or you don't know who's starred in it. It stars Laurie Cardill as Sarah, Terry Alexander as John, and Joe Polito as Rhodes. He will probably be the most memorable character in that movie. Right, Dan?
Right, yeah. There's also a famous
Joe got it.
Famous effects artist in this movie.
Yes, who I actually personally met and got his autograph at Monsterpalooza. Tom Savini.
Really?
Great guy.
He did these special effects for this?
He did special effects for Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, and Day of the Dead.
By
This
the way,
one.
those of you who don't know who Tom Savini is, if you've ever seen Machete, he's the guy who killed his brother.
Most memorable role he's played is
Sex Machine and
From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, that was a great role.
That was a great one. I love that because he's got the crotch gun and that carried over into the other Rob Rodriguez film where you have the gun that's strapped on.
That was strapped on the chick, and yeah, it was
Sophia,
terror.
It was Sofia Vergara who had it as well.
Is she? Yeah.
And
from
Machete
Kills.
Kills.
Yeah, and Machete Kills. Yeah.
That was a great
one.
Yeah,
He's done great stuff, and he continues to do great stuff, and I urge you to look up, his work more. And another person played in The Day of the Dead that I think a lot of people, we see his work, but we may not know who he is. It's John Nicotero.
Really?
Who does the makeup work, who learned with Tom Savini, and he did the makeup work on he worked on Day of the Dead, and he also does The Walking Dead. He's the primary makeup person for that. I don't know if he still is for the most recent season, but he has done most of the previous. I think he's still going.
Really?
But yeah, John Nicotero, he played the blonde-haired kind of surfer, stoner-looking shaggy dude in Day of the Dead.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
And he got killed.
Of course. I mean, you can't be a stoner in a zombie movie and survive.
And Sherman Howard played Bub. He's another memorable character. Him and Rhodes. You won't forget the zombie that reaches self-awareness.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Which is cool in this movie because that movie really touched on that. About a zombie that actually comes closer to civility.
Well,
through this mad scientist that's, in the underground bunker area they're in.
Right, and it also reminded me of Land of the Dead, where you had at some point you had these sentient zombies figure out how to work things like, what use tools to.
Yeah, and that's how they managed to bust into the little dome that the elitist people were living in with Dennis Hopper, who told them they had no right to do it.
Freaking Dennis Hopper.
He was great. Man, rest in peace. He was great.
He's also a great villain in general.
He is, but he's also just a great, insane villain. I really liked him. It's a shame he died so young, and rest in peace, Dennis Hopper.
Let's see, Dennis Hopper was in Waterworld, played the bad guy in Waterworld.
He was great in that.
He was Koopa, even though that movie was so bad.
Super Mario Brothers.
I'm a tyrant. I evolved from
He
tyrant.
played a great villain in Speed. Classic film with Keanu Reeves. Another great film with Keanu Reeves. You forget, and you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, and Sandra Bullock
did do that. That's right.
And I mean, dude,
he did River's Edge, which is a really good film. I urge anyone to look into. It's a true story about it's a murder story that took place during the 1980s.
But we digress. We'll go back to the. Go back to that. So back when Day of the Dead, the plot's pretty simple. They're sitting and hang out in a underground bunker to avoid the zombie outbreak.
The zombie outbreak has been going on. They're really in the thick of it, and this scientific team and the military have gone into a bunker under orders of the government, it appears, to research the zombie problem. What makes zombies? Yeah, and essentially they find no fucking solution, and they're all deteriorating.
It kind of reminds me of the solution with the one zombie. It reminds me of Shaun of the Dead, where they somehow figure out how to domesticate zombies. At least the one scientist does.
Well, Shaun of the Dead, I think, maybe took it from this one.
Yeah, the fact that they have like now the zombies are becoming useful members of society, and they should have working at Walmart.
Zombies are becoming useful members of society, kind of like most of our own members of society are pretty much zombies that are civilized a little bit.
I don't know. Some people are pretty uncivilized.
Yeah, but what was really interesting about this film was that you had this, these people deteriorating, and it was sad. I think this film, what was cool is these people genuinely acted. These actors. It wasn't a goofy film. Yeah. It wasn't like campy too much. It was dramatic. These people were generally.
You start making you wonder who's more animalistic, the zombies or the people.
Yeah, it touched on that, but it's almost like no one could come up with any real solution. What could they do?
Yeah,
they're really just destined to. I mean, even this, you had this zombie that somewhat got trained, but on a realistic level, how realistic was that to bring in constant zombies, and what would that really accomplish?
Yeah,
I mean, they're still going to need to eat people.
Or some sort of flesh, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, and then there was this mad scientist that I believe he was trying. He was also insane. His mind was deteriorating in the midst of this. And
it reminded me of when we did Wormwood, how the guy kind of went nuts as well.
Yeah, but this is kind of like the movie's kind of like Philip Zimbardo's experiment with prisoners and authority. The military, had a power trip over everybody.
Right.
They were in a position of I want to dominate, and there was a science team that was more like we're interested in exploring.
Which is very common among science. Yeah. You need to push boundaries in order to find solutions.
But also, I noticed that it's kind of like constant human society. These people both were not coming to any understanding of each other.
Right.
The science team wasn't understanding that there wasn't really any people wanted some direction. The military wanted some practical step.
Yeah.
And it was like this doctor was just kind of that they gave him a nickname, Frankenstein.
Right.
He was kind of just fucking sawing. He was sawing off heads and like making them move and stuff. And it's like, then Rhodes is like, "What the fuck are you doing with my time, Frankenstein?" The fuck.
That was a great scene. So it kind of was. It was a good movie.
It was really good, and Rhodes was a definitely big bad guy.
There were some great kills.
The kills were great.
The effects looked really good.
The effects were great. Tom Savini, I can't stress it enough.
It still kind of does a little bit like gelatin coming out, but it was made in the 80s. it's not, but they're not going for uber gore. A lot of people just got taken down. You didn't see them get ripped apart, which I kind of like. It's
that's because we watched it on AMC. Watch it not on AMC,
right?
Where they don't pussify the
kills.
The censor pussify, and in the foul language too. They took all the fun foul language.
That was kind of funny. There was like so many like just pauses. A lot of dead air.
Yeah, a lot of dead air. It's like, what the. My time.
That's always fun.
We're gonna leave all your highfalutin asshole friends to rot down here.
It was still a fun movie, even with this.
Or are we all just jerking off? Is there any food here?
Great lines.
It was a good. What would you say? It's a good film. Who should watch it?
Yeah, you watched it.
If you're in the zombie craze, if you have zombie fever,
you need to watch.
You need to watch Day of the Dead. This is the roots of it.
It's required watching for all the zombies.
You should watch George Romero invented our common known modern.
The modern zombie.
The modern zombie. Before then, was more of the voodoo zombie or
right. It was like the Mummy style.
The Mummy style.
Yeah, they were controlled by magic
or Jesus juice.
Jesus juice.
Or Yahweh was controlling it. Hey man, like Sam Kinison always said, man, the fucking Jesus story is the only zombie story you're watching. You're not like, what the fuck? A fucking dead
guy. Get the sword.
Get the sword. Remove it. Kill the brain.
So I think that's the end of our review.
Definitely.
So we'll see you later. Everyone, thanks for watching.
I don't thank you.
Remember to leave a comment below and hit the like button. I'm Dan.
I'm Chris.
And we will see you later.